Want to speak English fluently and confidently without translating in your head? This episode will show you how to stop overthinking, start thinking in English, and speak naturally, even if you're still learning. Whether you're stuck at intermediate level or afraid of making mistakes, this is your ultimate English speaking practice podcast. Let's break the habit of translating and start talking freely, together. So, get comfortable and let's begin. So many English learners tell me the same thing. I understand English, I know the grammar, but when I try to speak, I freeze. And honestly, that's not because they're bad at English. It's because they're stuck translating in their head.
Instead of speaking naturally, they're running a translation loop in their brain. They think in their native language, try to find the English words, check if it's correct, and by the time they're ready, the moment is already gone.
Right. It's like their brain is running a slow background program.
The solution? Stop aiming for perfect grammar. Focus on fluency. Start thinking directly in English. That's what we'll help you do today, with real examples, practical tips, and natural conversation. That's why one of the first mindset shifts you need if you want to speak English fluently is to stop focusing on perfection. Nobody speaks perfectly, not even native speakers. What matters is communication. It's about making the other person understand you, not about sounding like a textbook.
Totally. And the irony is, the more you chase perfect grammar in your head, the more unnatural your English sounds. If you're constantly pausing to think, should I say, did you go? Or have you gone? You're not focusing on the conversation. You're trapped in grammar jail.
Yes, and you know what helps get out of that trap? Daily exposure to real conversations. The more you listen, the more your brain starts recognizing natural rhythm, tone, and common sentence patterns like, what are you up to? Or, I haven't seen you in ages. You don't analyze them, you just absorb them.
I always tell learners, don't wait for a perfect environment to practice. Your kitchen, your commute, your walk in the park, all of these are opportunities to speak out loud, even to yourself. Saying things like, I'm making coffee, or it's cold today, trains your brain to speak automatically.
And that's actually one of the best techniques. Speak to yourself in English every day. Describe what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I need to send this email. Let's grab some lunch. These aren't fancy phrases, but they're what people actually use every day, and they build fluency.
Right. Because speaking fluently doesn't mean using complex vocabulary. It means responding quickly, naturally, and confidently. You can say something as simple as, I'm not sure, or let me think, and sound like a fluent speaker.
And listening is just as important. People who listen to English podcasts or watch shows with subtitles every day without overthinking often improve faster than those stuck in grammar books. It's like their ears get tuned to real English.
Have you tried the shadowing technique with your students? It's basically when you listen to a native speaker and repeat exactly what they say, at the same time or right after. It's powerful for improving pronunciation, intonation, and fluency.
Yes, and I always suggest starting with simple dialogues. For example, if you hear, hey, how's it going? Don't just repeat the words. Repeat the feeling, the energy. Say it the way they say it. That's how you sound natural.
Exactly. Repetition isn't boring when you understand its purpose. Athletes repeat drills. Musicians repeat scales. Language learners, they should repeat real sentences like, do you want to grab dinner tonight? Or I'll get back to you later.
I love that example because phrases like get back to you or grab dinner are real English. Not the kind of stuff you see in textbooks, but the kind that makes you sound fluent and confident.
So many people ask, how can I think in English? And the answer is, it starts with simple thoughts. Don't try to think about politics or philosophy in English on day one. Just start with things like, where's my phone? I need to clean the kitchen. That's how it begins.
Exactly. And it's not about being perfect, it's about habit. If you train your brain to think in English during small daily routines, you're building a natural connection with the language. You stop translating because you're living the language.
And it's not about being perfect, it's about habit. If you train your brain to think in English during small daily routines, you're building a natural connection with the language. You stop translating because you're living the language.
That's the key. Living the language, not just studying it. People often ask, how can I improve my English speaking skills without living in an English speaking country? And the truth is, you don't need to move abroad. You can create an English speaking environment around you, right where you are.
Right. Your phone can be in English. Your YouTube feed can be full of English podcasts. Your thoughts, your shopping list, your daily conversations with yourself, they can all be in English. That's how you make English part of your identity, not just a subject you study.
And the more natural you make it, the easier it gets. Instead of memorizing grammar rules, you start noticing them in real sentences. You hear someone say, I've been working on that project, and without even thinking about present perfect continuous, your brain recognizes the pattern, the meaning, the vibe.
Yes. That's why listening and speaking English every day is so much more effective than just doing grammar exercises. You're not just learning rules, you're absorbing rhythm, intonation, phrasing. You start to feel the language. That's when fluency begins.
And honestly, one of the most underrated ways to improve your English speaking fluency is by repeating full sentences. Don't just learn vocabulary, learn phrases like, I'm not sure yet, it doesn't really matter, or let's figure it out. These expressions are everywhere in daily English conversations, and when you use them, you sound much more confident.
Fluency isn't about using fancy words. It's not about sounding academic or advanced. It's about communicating your thoughts naturally and clearly. If someone asks you, what do you do for fun? And you can answer without pausing or translating, that's fluency.
Exactly. And it's also about listening well. Many people focus so much on speaking that they forget. Fluent conversation is a two-way street. You need to understand, react, and respond naturally. So practicing listening and speaking English together is essential.
That's where real English podcasts make a huge difference. You hear how native speakers talk to each other, how they interrupt politely, how they use phrases like, you know, kind of, actually, or I see what you mean. These small things make you sound like part of the conversation, not like an outsider.
And if you want to speak English fluently and confidently, you have to be okay with making mistakes in real time. That's how real fluency is built, not in silence, but in action. One of the worst habits is waiting until you feel ready. You'll never feel ready if you don't try.
Let's get practical. If someone has 30 minutes a day and they really want to improve their English speaking skills, what do you suggest?
Okay, here's a simple plan that works. 10 minutes? Listen to a real English podcast, one that feels like a real conversation, not a lesson. 10 minutes. Shadow the speakers. Repeat what they say. Try to copy their rhythm and tone. 5 minutes. Speak freely. Talk about your day, your plans, what you're feeling, all in English. 5 minutes. Write a short paragraph or voice message in English, even if it's just for yourself.
That's perfect. And for people who say, but I don't have time, I always say, if you have time to scroll on your phone, you have time to speak English out loud. It doesn't have to be formal, just speak. Say, I'm tired today, or I need to do laundry. Simple things matter.
And here's another tip. If you're shy, record yourself. Just talk for 1 minute every day. Describe your room, your goals, your lunch, whatever. Then listen back. You'll hear your progress over time, and you'll notice what needs to improve.
So many learners struggle with confidence. They know the words, they understand what's being said. But when it's their turn to speak, they freeze.
And that fear comes from perfectionism, from the idea that if I make a mistake, they'll judge me. But that's not how language works. People admire effort. They respect courage. If you're trying to speak their language, most people are kind, patient, and even impressed.
Yes, and fluency doesn't grow in silence. It grows in real conversations. Even if you mess up, even if you say, "Yesterday I go to market," you're using English. You're building fluency. The correct form will come with more exposure.
And honestly, confidence is like a muscle. You build it by using it. Start with small conversations. Say hello to someone, ask a question at a cafe, comment on a YouTube video. Every interaction is practice.
If I had to summarize this whole conversation in one sentence, it would be speak now, correct later. Because the only way to truly speak English fluently and confidently is to actually speak every day.
Beautifully said. And I'll add this. Don't study English. Live it. Watch English content. Think in English. Talk to yourself in English. Write your thoughts in English. The more you live it, the more natural it becomes.
Exactly. Stop translating. Start thinking. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It starts now. Even this podcast that you're still listening to, it's part of your journey. You've already taken a big step just by being here.
So keep going, one sentence at a time, one day at a time. And remember, fluency isn't a destination, it's a lifestyle.
If you've made it this far, you're truly special. Write English practice in the comments. We'll add you to our favorite learners list and invite you to join our exclusive learning group. Let's grow together. Thanks for listening, everyone. Keep speaking, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next one.